So Kanye West has said some things about Pete Davidson.
God save me from that crash, just so I could beat Pete Davidson's ass.
He may be getting himself into a world of legal trouble. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you probably have some familiarity with the public fighting between Kim Kardashian and her ex and baby father, Kanye West. Now, in the aftermath of this bitter divorce, fans and observers have expressed concern about Kanye's increasingly erratic public behavior against Kim Kardashian, his threats against people like Kardashian's new partner, Pete Davidson, and feuds with comedians like Trevor Noah, who criticize West's conduct. So today we're going to cover the laws of harassment, stalking, and domestic violence, and analyze to what extent Kanye's eccentric bluster crosses the line into potential criminality, and addresses the legal measures that Kardashian and Davidson could take to protect themselves and their children as well, and what's going to happen to Kanye's kids in the aftermath of this erratic behavior. Now, even if you've never watched the Kardashians reality show, the family's forays into everything from music and politics into popular culture have made it increasingly difficult to not keep up with the Kardashians, whether you wanted to or not. But if you managed to stay uninformed about the Kardashians for this long, well, too bad, because we're going to cover what the world is going on. Now, here's a brief timeline of the Kim Ye saga based on publicly available facts. Now, Kim and Kanye began dating in 2012 before they legally tied the knot in 2014. The couple shares 4 children, daughters North and Chicago, and sons Saint and Saul. Now, as the years went by, West's struggles with mental health began to spill into public view. And in November 2016, 1 month after Kim was famously robbed at gunpoint at her hotel in Paris, West triggered backlash and confusion at his performances by going on controversial rants about politics and race, and then ending shows early. Now, West abruptly canceled his tour and was immediately hospitalized for psychiatric evaluation due to, quote, acting erratically, during which time he was allegedly handcuffed in the back of an ambulance for some safety. West continued to generate negative publicity for himself when he told TMZ regarding 400 years of enslavement of African Americans. Quote, that sounds like a choice. Now, he would admit in a 2018 interview with the New York Times that he feared that these comments to TMZ would cause his wife to leave him. And if that wasn't enough, in July of 2020, the music mogul took to Twitter to announce his candidacy for president of the United States, where he'd go on to earn 60,000 total votes as he missed the ballot deadline by several weeks. And then weeks after that, Kardashian posted a lengthy statement on Instagram addressing her then-husband's erratic posts and struggles with bipolar disorder. Quote, anyone who has bipolar disorder or has a loved one in their life who does knows how incredibly complicated and painful it is to understand. I've never spoken publicly about how this has affected us at home because I'm very protective of our children and Kanye's right to privacy when it comes to his health, but today I feel like I should comment on it because the stigma and misconception about mental health. The marriage, however, would not last, and Kardashian formally filed for divorce in February of 2021. In December of 2021, Kardashian petitioned the court to declare her, quote, legally single and restore her maiden name, declaring their marriage, quote, irredeemably broken down and, quote, no counseling or reconciliation effort will be of any value at this time. Kanye, who had just changed his name to just Ye, opposed Kardashian's motion to be declared single, arguing issues related to custody of the children and shared properties needed to be resolved. Now, replying to Ye's motion, Kardashian told the court, quote, I very much desire to be divorced, and that Ye's social media posts were rife with misinformation, private family matters, and co-parenting on social media, which has created emotional distress. And on March 2nd, 2022, Kim's petition to be legally single was granted. The divorce grew even more contentious when Davidson and Kardashian reportedly started dating in late fall 2021. On social media, Ye would alternate between begging Kardashian to reconcile and attacking her parenting style. In since deleted Instagram posts, Ye expressed concern for his daughter North appearing on TikTok, claiming that Kardashian had accused him of putting a hit out on her and claimed Kardashian was keeping his children away from him. Kardashian fired back at Ye for his constant attacks against her and criticized his reported, quote, obsession with trying to control and manipulate the situation. Ye's vitriol towards Davidson also spilled into public view in the form of a rap-based attack. In the song Easy, Ye raps, quote, God save me from that crash, just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ass. Which doesn't actually rhyme. But anyway, in one music video for the song, the claymation Ye kidnaps, beheads, and buries Davidson. In a follow-up video, an animated monkey beats up Pete Davidson. Now, in early March, Pete Davidson's friend Dan seriously reported text messages between Ye and Davidson in which the SNL star defends Kardashian as, quote, literally the best mother I've ever met, and confronts the rapper for his months of harassing behavior on social media against Kardashian and himself, telling Ye, quote, to grow the fuck up. Davidson purportedly informed Ye that he was in LA for the day and offered to meet privately to talk things out. When Ye asked for Davidson's location, the King of Staten Island star sent a photo of himself flashing a peace sign with his fingers sticking out and his tongue with the cheeky reply, in bed with your wife. Ye proposed meeting at his Sunday service, but Davidson refused, suggesting that Ye was more interested in publicity than resolution, and Davidson offered to help Ye with his mental health, purportedly telling the rapper, quote, it's so sad to see you ruin your legacy on the daily. Davidson wrote, let me help you, man, highlighting his own struggles with mental health. Quote, it's not an easy journey, you don't have to feel this way anymore. There's no shame in having a little help. You'll be so happy and at peace. Entertainers like Billie Eilish and D.L. Hughley began to weigh in on Ye's threatening behavior, sparking their own feuds with the rap mogul. And in a Daily Show segment, Trevor Noah called out Ye's belligerent treatment of his ex-wife, describing the whole saga as, quote, terrifying to watch, that exemplify the type of harassment that so many women go through when they choose to leave. In response, Ye angrily attacked the South African comedian on Instagram with racial slurs, earning Ye a 24-hour ban for violating the site's policies on hate speech, bullying, and harassment. Okay, so I think that means we're all caught up. Now we can talk about the legal implications of all of this erratic behavior. Now, in the face of Ye's threats against Davidson and the unstable behavior towards Ms. Kardashian, some have advised them to get a restraining order. So what are the options when it comes to protecting themselves and the children when it comes to a restraining order? Well, let's start with the basics. A restraining order, also called a protective order, is a court order that can protect an individual from being physically or sexually abused, threatened, stalked, or harassed. The person the restraining order is against is called the restrained person. The person requesting the restraining order is called the protected person. And restraining orders can be broadened to include family or other household members as part of that class of protected persons. As the name suggests, a restraining order restrains a third party from committing certain actions against the protected persons. And then one type of restriction is a personal conduct order, which prohibits the restrained party from any of the following actions, including contacting the person, attacking, stalking, threatening, sexually assaulting, harassing, destroying personal property, or disturbing the peace of those protected people. And a protected person can also obtain what's called a stay-away order, which is probably the kind of restraining order you're familiar with in the media, where a restrained person has to keep a certain distance away from the protected person, or where that person lives, their place of work, the children's school, their vehicle, and other important places. And if that restrained person violates the restraining order, then they may be sent to jail or pay a fine or both. Now, additionally, a domestic violence restraining order protects an individual from abuse when the abused and the abuser are or have been in an intimate relationship. And the abuse prohibited is not limited to the actual infliction of physical injury or committing assault, as psychological torment is also included. And if the parties haven't dated and don't have a close